Hello everybody and welcome to the Q&A answer session that I promised you 2 days ago. It has been 2 days since I put up that video asking you for the questions for my 1000th video celebration, and I was not disappointed. You guys sent me a bunch of questions both on YouTube and via email, and there's a lot of good ones in there. A couple of ground rules first. If there were multiple questions, I tended to just pick the one that the first person asked me, whether it was via email or through the YouTube comment section. I kind of avoided a lot of super personal stuff, which there was an okay amount of. So if you don't see any of those questions on there, I'm sorry. I try to avoid the super personal stuff. And since there were so many, I do apologize if I maybe missed your question. I'm hoping I cover it in some form or another through these questions, whether it be on a tangent I go off of or whatnot. But if I don't cover your question, I apologize. But I do have a huge list of questions here that I've written down, so I'm excited. There's a lot of funny ones, a lot of serious ones, and I'm excited to just get to it. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The first question's a funny one. Am I keeping the beard from a robots game? And I think I can safely say yes, I'm going to be keeping the beard. My fiance wanted me to grow it out, so I grew it out, and now I have it, and that's where it is, and people seem to like it. It is a little bit on the patchy side, but that'll be fixed over time as I grow more and more, and it becomes thicker and thicker. So yes, I am keeping the beard. The next question by Brawler Zant is, how long have I been making videos and what are some of my future goals? I have now been making YouTube videos for probably 3 years-ish, there and thereabouts. I don't know exactly when I started. I probably could figure it out if I went back and looked at my super first channel, Mathis445. I might have deleted it. I might have deleted that channel first. But I want to guess 3 or 4 years now. I've probably been making videos as a hobby, and only recently has become something else. And what are my future goals? To continue growing, to continue producing better and better content. I have a lot of cool projects for 2014 that I can't wait to hopefully bring to fruition with you guys. So we'll see what we end up doing in 2014. But just generally to keep YouTube going and to keep it going strong amidst all the crazy changes that YouTube has kind of thrown at all of its content creators. So thank you for that question. Question by Andike, A-N-D-K-E. When did I get into Project Zomboid? Now, that's actually a good question, because I'm curious. Not a lot of you probably know. A lot of you probably came from the launch on Steam or something else. I got into Zomboid a long time ago. I've actually been attaching myself to this game really early on. I came to discover it way back when there was a webcomic on Control-Alt-Delete about Project Zomboid, and I was very curious as to what he was talking about. He wrote a couple paragraphs about the game, and it sparked my interest, and he linked the game on his blog, so I clicked it, and I read about what the game wants to do, where it plans to go, and I was hooked on there on in, and I grabbed the game, and the rest is history, I guess. That's where I was introduced to it. So it's been a wonderful time playing the game. I enjoy Project Zomboid a great deal, and I expect to keep enjoying it for years to come. Jakester asks, am I still in the restaurant business? This is a difficult question to ask, to answer. Yes and no. I will have a more full answer during my 20,000 subscriber kind of video. There's a lot I want to talk about with where I am in the restaurant industry right now, where I plan to be with it in the next year, and there's all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. But as of right now, yes, I will say yes, I am currently in the restaurant industry. It is a pain in the ass, and I hate it every day. Leo Ivanov asks, beard or goatee? Beard. Beard all the way. I really thought I liked the goatee, but ever since I grew the beard, people really seem to like it. I really like it. It's a little bit of a problem to kind of keep trimmed, and it's actually a lot of work, but I like it a lot. And it is kind of scraggly right now, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot, so definitely beard. Firelord777 asks, how long did it take to grow the beard? Ooh, months. It took me a few months to get like this, probably 2 straight months, and it is where it is now. I don't grow facial hair very easily. It actually is very difficult for me to do facial hair, but that's how long, about 2 months. Evan asks, am I going to be doing a Rust series? One of the things I definitely want to do is maybe do a Rust series with Dean. I was a lot more gung-ho about it a few weeks ago when I first got introduced to it, but the more I play and the more I think about the game and its mechanics and its shortcomings and what I like and don't like about it, the more I'm not entirely sure if I want to do a Rust series. But we'll see. As of right now, I'd say a tentative yes, but I'm not entirely 100% sold on that yet. So We'll see. Thank you for the question. The James DM asks, what do I think of the Command & Conquer franchise? That's tough, because the Command & Conquer franchise has been so many ups and downs. In its most recent one, the alpha, it was actually an open alpha. I forget what it's called. Was it Generals? It was like a Generals type game, but it was like an only online with microtransaction type of game. It was awful. It got canceled. It was finished up. If you want to know more about it, Ohmwrecker, aka the Masked Gamer, has a video on it, and you can go check it out. But I really loved the Command & Conquer franchise growing up. I loved it. Tiberian Sun, Red Alert 2, original Command & Conquer. I played all of them. They were some of my favorite games. RTSs were some of my, or still is one of my favorite genres of all time. But, you know, Command & Conquer has definitely had its ups and downs, and I miss its heyday. I think it's a great series, but EA has kind of run into the game. Ever since Westwood Studios has kind of disappeared, we've had a really weird life of Command & Conquer, and I don't know if we'll see any more. I hope we'll see more, but with the cancellation of the last one that they were making, it's not a bright future for CNC, which is really sad. But thank you for the question. Melian Eros asks, if I could change one moment in my life, what would it be, and would I do it? I know, you know, it's tough, because I probably am the happiest I've ever been in my entire life where I am now. And to change any one thing in my history, to change any one thing in my past, would essentially change everything. I mean, there's a lot of things in my past that I regret, you know, maybe a little bit doing, but without those particular situations in my life, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know, for instance, if I didn't date that one ex-girlfriend who probably ruined, you know, so much of a portion of my life, I wouldn't be who I am now. And in a way, you know, you have to thank those mistakes that you've made to form who you are, and I'm better for it. You know, I'm a lot more careful with things now. I'm a lot more, you know, there's a lot of things about me that's changed because of certain things in my life that I've done. And you know, to change any one of them would maybe change where I am in life now, and I don't know if I would like that. I don't know if I would want that. So, I would say no. No, I wouldn't change anything to round out that question. Thank you, though. That's actually one of my favorite questions so far. The War King asks, what's my favorite place that I've been? Favorite place that I've been? I haven't been very far. I don't even think I've been out. Oh, I've been to Canada, so I've been out of the country. Favorite place that I've been? How about Florida? Very simple. I vacationed in Florida, and I loved Florida. It was beautiful. You know, it's tough to answer the question, because I could say something like that, or I could say something like, one of my favorite places that I've been is moving out of my house and living in my apartment and having that sense of freedom that I've never had before, and living on my own. There's a lot of responsibility put on you, but it's probably one of my favorite places that I've been, and I'm going to miss my little apartment. My very first apartment. We'll be moving in a couple weeks. But this is also one of my favorite places, because it taught me a lot about me and allowed me to do things I maybe not would have been able to do otherwise. So thank you. Pete asks, will I stream my marriage? No, I will not. But there might be some footage when the marriage happens. I don't know. We don't have a set date yet. Don't worry. I've been bugging her for one, but she hasn't picked one yet because she's afraid we can't afford it. But we will I stream it? No. Will there be footage? Sure. I'm sure there will be footage, and I'll gladly put up some footage of my wedding when that time comes around. David White and a ton of other people asks, when's the community play date? When we hit 20,000 subscribers, I will give you a specific day. I know I promised one at 10,000. Things happen. My life got a lot more hectic than I expected it to be. November was a crazy month in general. But when 20,000 subscribers rolls around and I have that big announcement video for you guys, I will have an exact day announced on that video. I promise you. I promise you that. So, thank you. Nick and a bunch of others asks, are there any special series planned for 2014, or are there any games that I'm excited for and plan on doing a series for? There are some special projects coming out for 2014, as I kind of stated. I don't necessarily want to spoil them. A couple of old Lost series are planned to return in some shape or another. Maybe not in the shape that they were when I officially launched a couple of those series. But I do have plans to return to some older stuff that I really miss doing. that time kind of got away from me and didn't really allow me to do anymore. But I will be planning on returning to some of those. And there's always games that I'm excited for. The official release of Neo Scavenger, all kinds of good indie gems are coming out this year that you should see at least a video on, if not a series. So we'll see. I can't give you a yes or no particularly until I kind of have them in my hands. So we don't know. Indie Mouse asks, when are we playing some games? Indie Mouse, I promise we'll play them soon. I've been trying to get you to play, but you live in Australia, man. It's difficult to line up times with you. I try to go to bed at a decent hour nowadays, so staying up stupid late is not really something I could do anymore. So I'm sorry. But we'll try, Indie Mouse. We'll try. Peter asks, was I bullied a lot growing up? Oh, boy, was I bullied. I mean, I know, this is probably a question that relates to a lot of you guys. And it's something that kind of hits pretty close to home for me. I was bullied a whole lot when I was growing up. Most of the bullying came from seventh grade on through high school, and it's tough to deal with. And I understand. Growing up and getting bullied, a lot of the advice I was given from parents and stuff was to just ignore it. If you react, that's giving them what they want. But I say that's wrong now, sitting here as an adult, 27 years old. I think sitting it and taking it is the wrong thing to do. I think retaliating in some way, whether it be confronting them, not necessarily fist fights, but confronting them, telling them off, doing what you have to do, might be the best option. But that's just me. I really wish I'd stood up for myself more in high school. I've been put in lockers. I was made fun of for being a nerd, a geek, a tool, whatever. And it's tough. It's definitely tough, and I understand if that's something you guys are going through. It's hard, but understand that there are people there who are willing to listen and make it better. And to be honest with you, a lot of what I do now, particularly with YouTube, is almost in direct response to the bullying that I kind of encountered in high school and being told by other grown-ups that video games won't get you anywhere in life, because now I'm probably happier than 90% of the people that I went to high school with. I'm doing something that I love. I'm doing something that I like, and gaming isn't just this geek thing anymore. That's what's so amazing about our community, about the video game and YouTube community, that it's not something small anymore, and that all these people who are made fun of and poked fun of have this community they can go to and play games with and watch people play games and interact with the content creators and be part of this amazing community that these bullies will never be a part of because they were too cool for it. And now they are doing their, menial, 9-to-5 cubicle jobs and all grown up and stuff, or they will be. I promise you they will be when they are past that high school career, working in the restaurant industry or working in the cubicle world and never going anywhere, never understanding the joys of having this cool gamer community to be able to go to. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. And I hope, one of my smallest hopes with my channel is that people like you who get bullied, who have bad days, are able to come to my channel and watch my videos and unwind and relax and enjoy their time, maybe whether it be 20 minutes to an hour watching my stuff, and know that there are people out there that love just what you love, who love exactly what you love, and are willing to share that passion for it with you, because you're not alone. You're not alone, and don't let the bullies make you feel otherwise, because that's one of the biggest things they try and do is make you feel like you're an outcast. You're not an outcast and you're not alone. There are hundreds of thousands of people just like you. Millions of people just like you. And we're not going away. We're not the minority anymore. We're becoming the majority. So don't let the bullies get to you. I promise you, it gets so much better. Thank you for that question, actually. It's a good question to get to. So we're going to go next to the next one now. Jamanu211 asks, what's the very first game I fell in love with? The very first game I probably fell in love with and played the most of has got to be... I think back to my childhood when I first had an NES, and the game I probably played the most of was Mega Man 2. I loved Mega Man 2 so much. I mean, I loved my Mario and my Duck Hunt, but I loved Mega Man 2. I played that game so crazy amount. I beat that game an undeterminate amount of times. I loved it a lot. That's probably the very, very, very first game that I really enjoyed and fell in love with growing up. So that's that. Dr. Cox1911 asks me, will I do a co-op series with my fiance? I have asked her if she would do something called Backseat Gaming with the Sassy Lass. And she gave me a yes. So when we move, you know, we're going to have a nice bigger room. I will try and work on getting the equipment to get 2 people recorded easily. I think that'd be really, really fun. I think a lot of you guys would like that a whole bunch. So I think we will be doing something like that. So yes, look forward to it. Next up, Batbot asks, have I seen a bump in subscribers from the Northern Lion and Arumba collab? Actually, yeah. I did see a bump. When I started doing the collaboration, I went from maybe like 30 subscribers a day to like 70, I think. But my biggest bump came from when Project Zomboid came out on Steam. Immediately my subs doubled from 70 to like 140, like that day. And it hasn't really slowed down. Over the past week, I think I've seen a little bit of a dip, but holidays and stuff is kind of expected. We'll see what ends up happening, but I'm still well above 100 subs a day every day, so that's awesome. But yes, I did see a nice little bump, and it's awesome that Northern Lion and Arumba have allowed me to collab with them. But, you know, the biggest thing isn't... I've been bugging them to do a collaboration. I didn't want to do it for the bump and subs. One of my favorite things to do is hang out and play games with Northern Lion. I mean, there was a time where, you know, I probably hung out and played with him Dota for every day for like a solid month or so. I just like Ryan. He's a cool guy. You know, ever since I met him at PAX East, he's a really cool guy, and I like playing games with him, and I just wanted to play something with him, and recording it just happened to be what we ended up doing. We planned on streaming it, actually, so I wouldn't actually have these series or videos up. What the original plan was to stream once a week for a couple hours, but Arumba said we should probably record it because it's easier in case we need to edit something or whatever, and you know, we all agreed that that might be the best bet, so that's where that started. But yeah, I definitely have seen a bump. To get back to the question, it's a lot of fun too. I really like it. Robert asks, do I trust big game reviewers like IGN and Game Informer? See, this is the thing that I have a hard time with, because originally when you growing up, there wasn't this YouTube thing, right? There was only this reviewer thing, and that's where you went to get an impression on the game. But ever since YouTube became a thing, people can now look at a game and say, I don't know if I want that. Let me go see some gameplay footage of that. And they can go and make the decision from themselves just seeing gameplay. Game reviewers, in a traditional sense, are becoming a lot less mainstream. The way people decide if they want a game nowadays is to jump on YouTube, type the game in, look at a couple of videos, and see, is this the game I want to play? And I think that's the greatest way to find out things, to kind of make a decision outside of playing it yourself, because you're seeing it in action. Video reviews from like IGN don't do the game justice, because it's like 5 to 10 minutes at most, cutscenes and other stuff. It's cut up a lot. You don't get that sense of actual what the game is like. And a lot of other companies like IGN are actually going the way of YouTube now. IGN has their own Let's Plays, and other people are doing their own Let's Plays, because that's how people want to know if they're going to buy a game or not. They're going to check out a Let's Play and see if the gameplay is something they would enjoy, and that's the beauty of YouTube. So, do I trust them anymore? I mean, I trust what that person is saying is their personal opinion, but I don't necessarily trust that it's going to be a game I'm going to love personally. So if I want to know if I'm going to get a game and I don't get it from the developer, I will go watch a YouTube video and I will figure out from the gameplay footage if I want it. And I think that's where my opinion lies on that situation. Bruno asks, what do I do in my free time? Well, that other than YouTube, of course, is what he means. I try to work. I work, but I most of the time, if I have free time and I'm not on YouTube and doing YouTube stuff, I usually hang out with my fiance on the couch. We'll watch a movie. We'll just lay down and relax. I try to spend time with her, and that's where the rest of my free time ends up going. Which, when working, 30 to 40 hours a week and doing YouTube, it typically can stress that, that free time isn't there. And one of the things I had to make sure I did when this happened was find free time. And that's very difficult to do when you're trying to do what you're doing. But it's something, that's what I do. And I have made free time, and I will always make free time for her. And that is what I do. So thank you. That's a fun question. A lot of people asks, why did I stop blank series? Why did I stop, Don't Starve or Game Dev Tycoon or whatever it may be? Very simple answer. I just got bored, or I felt like I showed you everything I could do. RimWorld, for example, I got bored, and I felt like I showed you everything there was in that early alpha build. I, of course, will go back to the game when the updates start rolling in and we get some more content. Other games, I might return to some later on this year. We'll see. I just feel like I spent a lot of time with them, and I've seen everything I wanted to see. So that's typically why I stopped series. Silent Ninja asks, how did I meet the Sassy Lass? Long story. I had been single for about a year or so, on and off dating, between one of my last serious ex-girlfriend and the one that I am with now, obviously. I did a lot of dating. There's some really fun dating stories in there that I could do a whole video on. But one of my friends had suggested I check out maybe an online dating site to see if I could find anybody, because I wasn't really a big bar hopper. So I did sign up for a dating site, one of the free ones too, but one of the best free ones out there, OkCupid. And I put a profile up, and I just kind of left it. I left it up for 2 weeks. I didn't really pay much attention to it, and one day I got a message from her because I had basically said I'm not looking to bar hop, I'm not looking for this, that, and the other. I'm just looking to go out and hang out on a date and see if we click, and that's it. And she liked it, so we went out. We met up at a neutral place, met up at a restaurant, and the rest is history. That is it. That's how I met her. Very simple. Online dating. It's not just for creepy people anymore. Take my word on it. All right. What's your weight? That was asked by 209 Awesome Man. Well, it depends. If it's a Saturday night during prime time, you're looking at about an hour and a half wait every single Saturday. Friday too. Sundays in the morning, it's about that long. On the weekday nights, if it's a really busy weekday night, like a Thursday or a Friday, well, more Thursday, probably like 20 minutes to a half an hour. But usually there's no wait other than that. Thank you for that question. Also, go fuck yourself. Sun D asks, do I console game anymore? Not really. Consoles have gone by the wayside for me. I really only touch my consoles for exclusives or Netflix at this point in my life. Will I get a next-gen console? That's a whole other question. I fully expect to get a PS4 at some point in the future when there's an exclusive that I really want. Infamous Second Son is going to be one that I'm definitely going to play, but I don't know if I'll buy a console specifically for that. The problem is a lot of the console games that I like to play, I can play on my PC and they look better and run better. So there's really no reason for me to get them on consoles anymore. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. So I don't really touch my consoles anymore unless I absolutely have to. Thank you for that question. Joel asks, how long will I make videos for? I will be making videos for as long as I possibly can. This is something that I picked up as a hobby and became something so much more, and I don't want it to go away. So I will be making them as long as possible. Counterattack asks, what was my inspiration for my video inspirations? To make a particular video, man, anything. It depends on what I'm doing a series on. A lot of my inspiration for a particular series come from just looking at a game and saying, I would love to play that, and I think it'd make a great series. A lot of open-ended survival sandbox. That's why my channel is so survival sandbox focused, because those games, in my opinion, makes for some of the best series because of the emergent stories that can come of them. I mean, you look at some of my Project Zomboid game playthroughs, and every single life is different. And it's just a different story every time, and I love that. So my inspirations kind of come from what I think games would make really good series to watch. Also, games that I could play, and you guys could play along with me and have completely different experiences with. That's half the fun of those types of games. So, thank you. That's a good question. Will asks, what are you going to do when YouTube goes to hell? It's already pretty far down now, but what will you do when it's going to be no more? Are you going to use something else along with Twitch, or will you plan on doing live streams more often because of it? So, as you all know, YouTube has making some drastic changes. Primarily, it's been doing more heavy content ID sweeps. Basically, unless you're a managed channel, you get a content ID sweep like everybody else. What it used to be was once you were partnered up with somebody, you were then protected from content ID sweeps, and you could instantly monetize your videos. Recently, YouTube said to all multi-channel networks like Polaris and Maker and Machinima, look, you have to take your people. You're not doing what you said you would do. You are not providing value for these people. So we're going to cut your balls off because you're basically scamming all of these people. What these networks were doing, were picking up every single solitary channel they could get their hands on and basically allowing them to monetize everything that they could on their channel, copyright ID or not. And basically were waiving off any problems with it. So they were basically doing stuff like RPM. That's what RPM exists for, in my opinion. RPM would take up all channels, whether they were 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, or 1,000 subscribers, and partnering them, and they would they would take usually like 50% of their cut. So YouTube said, look, you're fucking scamming the system. We're going to cut your balls off. Determine if these partners are affiliates or if they're managed. If they're managed, nothing will change for them. If they're affiliates, they will now be suspect to our content ID system and our approval system in January. And that's what they did. The problem here is that people are getting all up in arms. I think it's a big change. I think things are going to change, but I don't think YouTube is going to go to shit. One, It just means that AAA developers have to be willing to give you permission to record their games. If they don't give you permission, you're not going to see a lot of coverage on it. You're only going to see coverage from some of the biggest YouTubers out there, like Total Biscuit and stuff. So a lot of your smaller YouTubers or middle YouTubers are not going to cover those games anymore. So it's going to become very much like the big reviewing system that you would see in games for old AAA games. You're only going to get a couple of opinions, and I think that's bad for the industry. And I think we're going to see some sort of hit to the sales of these particular games, because Total Biscuit, as much as I like him in respect of his opinion, he's very much for this whole change. He said it on Twitter and stuff. He said it before to other people that I can't really mention on Skype. He has said that he's for these changes because it means no competition for him. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see these AAA games only go to those bigger people. What we are going to see more of is indie gaming. I have not been hit once by this content copyright system at all, because I do primarily indie games. And those people understand the value of YouTube and being able to be put in front of thousands of people they may not have otherwise been put in front of. Neo Scavenger's developer is doing it perfectly. He loves YouTube. In January, when this whole new approval process comes around, we'll see what happens. YouTube has said it's a better system than it used to be, and that it's based on a trust algorithm now. We'll see if that's true. I don't expect much to change for me in YouTube in general. For me in particular, I don't think much is going to change. It just might mean daily content might be switched up a bit. Instead of being able to post a Zomboid video every day in reaction to this video from the day prior, you might see a video. Zomboid videos might be 2 or 3 days behind, etc. To the comments. And that's all that's going to change. Unfortunately, as much as people are shouting the sky is falling, and I've talked to a ton of people about this, YouTube is not going to change, and it's not going to go anywhere, because there's no competitor. And all the people who say, well, just fund a new competitor or just start putting videos elsewhere, it's going to take years, and I mean years, before they're going to be able to compete with the monolith that is YouTube. So I am going to do Twitch on the side now. I've been streaming on Twitch 4 days a week, and that's going to be there. That's going to be something that I've been working on for a while now. But YouTube is not going anywhere. I don't expect it to go anywhere. It'll just be a bit of a different playing field nowadays. That's all. Excellent question, by the way. Thank you, Will. James asks, how do I deal with pressure? It's tough. Dealing with pressure is difficult, because it's pressure, man. Pressure is not easy. You got to just, the way I look at it, and the way I've always dealt with these types of things, is I just grit my teeth and I bear it. And people deal with pressure other ways, whether they vent in video games or they vent by watching movies or, going out with friends or whatever it is. There's different ways of doing it. I say, go find the thing that best suits you. But there's a lot of different ways you can deal with it. I personally just grit my teeth and I bear with the pressure. I think pressure allows me or forces me to produce content that I might not have otherwise produced, because people are demanding it. But pressure in everyday life, there's all kinds of ways to do it. For me, I just do it, man. I do it, and I do it the best I can. And so those other people who are demanding it get the best show they possibly can. David asks, how do you respond to people who look down on what you do with YouTube? And he specifically gives examples about his dad making fun of people who do YouTube and stuff. To be honest, it's hard to deal with people who look down on it, because people don't understand. I mean, the best thing I can say, and a lot of people say this for a lot of things, but it holds true particularly for YouTube, is do it yourself. If you think it's so easy, do it yourself. And I'm not going to lie, that's why I started doing the YouTube initially, because I was like, it's just going to be an easy hobby that could be fun. It's not. Making videos that are entertaining to watch, being able to commentate relevant what's going on the screen, and still play the game in a competent way is goddamn difficult. It is goddamn ridiculous. I always expect it to be easy. I always watch people like, how are people doing this? This is so easy. Why are people, how are people making money off of this? And then, as I started and understood, I'm like, this is fucking hard. To continually talk and entertain people for a half hour per video or 20 minutes or whatever is fucking hard. And if I knew now what I knew then, and I've said this before, that it was going to be as much work as it was to get where I am now, I asked myself, would I have started doing YouTube? And if I knew it was going to be years before I was able to do anything, and luck, of course, would I have started doing YouTube? And I can honestly say the answer is no, I wouldn't have, because it's fucking hard. It is so incredibly difficult to do and get anywhere on YouTube. So for those people who are like, your job is easy, derp derp derp, how do you get paid for playing video games, yerp derp derp, I'm not being paid to play video games. I'm being paid like any other entertainer is being paid for. I pay to entertain. And if I'm entertaining you and you're enjoying my videos and you enjoy watching my stuff, I appreciate you letting those ads roll because that's what pays me. And if I wasn't getting paid, you wouldn't have the quality videos you have now. You wouldn't have 1080p videos. You wouldn't have clear sound recording. You wouldn't have these videos that are smooth. I wouldn't be able to record and play games at the same time because my computer wouldn't be able to handle 90% of these games. These things fund it. Like, people who are like, well, you should just play it for free. If you love doing it, you should just do it for free. If I did it for free, you wouldn't get quality entertainment. You wouldn't get quality videos. And that goes for all YouTubers. Total Biscuit, Northern Lion, Jesse Cox, Dodger. All these people would not exist. They wouldn't be around. And if they did, it would be on such a small scale and their content would be so crap. It's not possible to do this job for free and to do it with this kind of quality. And that's my final word. It's not possible. So there's that. Thank you. It's just not possible. And the final question is from Medved, one of my longtime viewers. What was the inspiration to even start YouTube? And I've told this story before, and I'm going to tell kind of an abbreviated version now. My initial inspiration for YouTube was as a hobby. I watched a lot of StarCraft, a lot of esports, professional StarCraft players a few years back. And I fell in love with casters such as Husky and HD StarCraft, and I really loved their stuff. And I was so passionate about the esports scene at the time. And I wanted to do something to kind of, as a hobby, for something for fun that I could potentially have people watch and enjoy. So I started casting StarCraft 2, or professional StarCraft 2 players as a hobby. And I wanted to be like Husky. I wanted to be like HD. And I did it, and I did it for a long time. And over a year, I think, I got like 234 subscribers, I think, is where I stopped. I think 236 actually, and I was stuck there for 6 months. And I had gotten a little taste of success because I'm like, pardon me. I had gotten a little taste of success at that time because I had like 20 people watching my videos or whatever, and I was really happy that 20 people watched my videos, and I wanted to get my name out there. I wanted more people to watch my videos. I wanted to entertain more people, but I was stuck. But then I went and I started doing other stuff. One day, I made a video about Project Zomboid, and that video was picked up by IndieGames.com. And from there, I got a lot of views. I kind of doubled my subscribers in a very short time, and I found something that people really enjoyed. They really enjoyed me playing Project Zomboid, and they wanted to see more. So I did do more, and I did a lot more. And I started seeing, subscribers every day, 1 a day, 2 a day usually. And I was very, very happy with that. Seeing one or two subs a day, when for probably 6 months I was stuck at 234 with nobody, was really exciting for me. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going. And the pressure, I used to do maybe like 1 video a week, maybe 2 videos a week, sometimes 1 video every other week. I always lost motivation during that time because no new people were joining. But once I started seeing people joining every single day and seeing views every day on Project Zomboid, I really pushed myself and motivated myself to make at least 1 video a day. And eventually I did. Eventually I was able to do that. And I sit where I am now after probably 2 years of doing that. I've been doing Zomboid for probably 2 years now, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's where it all came from. HD and Husky StarCraft were my biggest inspirations. And I talk, this is actually a video on my YouTube channel where I talk more in depth about why I started to make them outside of just inspiration and what was going on in my personal life at the time. It's a very long story. You could go dig for it. I don't know. It's a Let's Chat video, so if you can find a Let's Chat, it's probably one of my more recent ones in the past few months. But that's it. Yeah, that's where I am now, and I'm very excited to be where I am. I'm very lucky to be where I am today. And I wouldn't be here without you guys. And I cannot wait to hit 20,000 subscribers. I've decided to wait until 20K to do the next big announcement video. And you guys are going to love it. And I know you are. I know you guys are going to love it. And I've been sitting on this for so long, and I can't wait to show you guys what's coming up in the next year. So thank you guys so much. This has been my Q&A. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay footage of Euro Truck Simulator, because I've been addicted to this game for the past few days. It's really, really fun. It's a really enjoyable game, and on stream I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a really fun game to just stream and interact with my chat and interact and talk to Dean with on Skype. It's been a good time. But thank you guys so much. I hope this was a fun Q&A. I enjoyed doing the Q&A. It's been about half an hour, 35 minutes now, so I think I've answered pretty much all the questions that really have been asked. And I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.